If I pass out, just revive me, if you see my face going blue. That's why Meister Eckhart says, the unnameable, the unnameable is not one we remain silent of. The unnameable is omni-nameable. In other words, when you come you're confronted with the trauma of God, you're not so much reduced to silence. You're like a bubbling mess. Poetry is born. Preaching is born at its best. Prophecy is born at its best. This is where prophecy gets its meat, in the very impossibility of speaking. As soon as I cannot speak this, well, I will, you let me stand here for 5 days. I will stand here for 5 days and talk about how I cannot say a word about the source of our faith. That's why those mystics wrote volumes about how you cannot write. They sing about how you cannot sing, wonderful stuff. Now, because otherwise they say, well, as soon as you name God, what are you doing? You're creating God in your own image. There's a beautiful story about a kid with crayons drawing a picture, it's a 5-year-old kid. Mother comes in, says, what's that you're drawing? Kid goes, drawing a picture of God. And mother laughs and says, nobody knows what God looks like. And the kid just smiles, looks up and says, maybe not, but they soon will. And that's kind of sometimes what theology seems to be, are these broken, fractured words. We think that this is kind of this description of God. And I read that little joke in actually a Christian book for my sins. I was reading it, and it was at the beginning, and then it said, but this is exactly what Jesus did do. Jesus came and drew a beautiful picture of God. I was going, wow, I don't know. For me, it seems like every time I read Jesus tears up my images of who I think God is. God is like, not as Viktor Frankl would say, God is not a painter. Jesus isn't a painter. He's an optician. Doesn't paint a picture, but helps fix our eyes so that we are dazzled by the incoming of something wonderful and beyond us. It's like, otherwise, theology becomes like Homer Simpson. The first time Homer Simpson ever prays, he's about to go over a waterfall, and he says, I don't know if you exist. I don't know if what they say about you is true. And I don't know if you can hear me now. But Superman, if you exist, please save me. And that's what we kind of do. God becomes, as soon as we start putting words to God reflects, just, people's dogs look like their owners, people's gods look like them. And is this not the way to actually, the facile arguments and this, both the new atheists and those who kind of try and critique them, they really believe that, is to say that God is not the patch of meaning that we put on the wound of our unknowing. God is the wound upon which we put the patches of meaning. But this is the God that Jesus seems to reveal. Where is it? How biblical is this? That's the answer. It's a good argument, isn't it? Yeah. You look at the answer that God gave to Moses when he looked for the name. What did he say? Well, it's often translated as I am who I am, but a lot of the Jewish scholars translate it as I shall be there, howsoever I shall be there. So whenever Moses says, what's your name? This is God saying, you cannot handle my name. My name is above every name. You know what my name is? Presence. You know what my promise is? Neither height nor depth, life nor death, nothing will separate you from my presence. That's what's going on. My presence is my name. That's why whenever Jacob wrestles God, same thing. Jacob knows that he's wrestling God at the end. What does he say? Tell me your name. Tell me your name. That's what Jacob wants to know. Why? I want a blessing. I want your name. And what does God say? God says, why do you want to know my name? Right? And then God answers him. What does God answer him with? By renaming Jacob. God's name names us. That's what you get in baptism, We are brought into the name of God. So, in other words, God's response, God's name is a blessing. That's what God's name is. A presence beyond all finding out. Now, this is what I think is going on in Jesus in the New Testament as well. As you have, the point of Jesus in the incarnation is not that the mystery of God, right, this transcendent mystery, is now revealed and we understand it. Is it not that the mystery is brought near to us? The mystery now lives among us. The mystery is here. It's like the TARDIS example I used yesterday. It's like the not yet is right here. So the mystery is deepened. When Jesus comes in, the mystery doesn't disappear. Actually, the mystery is deepened. Goes so much infinitely deeper. Now the mystery touches us in flesh and blood. And I love that, we are created in the image of God. Oh, so that makes God understandable? No, because I'll tell you what, everybody I know is a mystery, We are a mystery unto ourselves, as Augustine would say. That's why Hegel said, the mystery of the Egyptians are mysteries to the Egyptians as well. Right? What does that mean? It means, it was like Freud when he was trying to talk about women, right? He says, women aren't a mystery to us, women are just a mystery unto themselves. But that's the same with everybody. That was Freud kind of trying to deal with women, that men do. How can I understand women, But it's true of us all. I'm a mystery unto myself. We're all a mystery, The more I get to know me, the more I go, my goodness, oh yeah, let's see if we've got anywhere. Oh yeah, we've done that. And we've done that. And oh yeah, we've done that. Oh yeah, and that. And I won't do that. You definitely don't want to see that. So what is revelation? And if revelation isn't this whispering in the ear, because the problem then, as I talked about yesterday, is that we can hear the message without heeding it. Revelation is something that gives us knowledge, and then we become like a physicist. It doesn't matter whether the physicist had an affair yesterday. It doesn't affect his knowledge of physics. It doesn't affect the knowledge of the biologist that they extorted money. Is that the kind of knowledge that we have as Christians? That, we can know the truth without doing it, without being it? Is that the kind of truth we're talking about whenever John says, those who love know God? Those who don't love God don't know? That's not the kind of truth that a biologist has. What kind of truth is that? It's a truth that brings life. Jesus always talks about truth and life together. I'm the way, the truth, and the life. I've come to bring life. It's throughout, especially in the book of John, all through the Gospels. The truth is this thing that brings life. I can't talk about that too much. Actually, that's going in a different direction. So, what is revelation? I'll keep to that. I also want to talk about the atheists. I want to talk about my last holiday in Spain. Lots of things to talk about. Revelation